research group has now revealed that nearly about 40% of the animals and 34% of plants are at risk of extinction in the United States of America. The research group NatureServe has also found that 41% of the ecosystems are facing a total collapse in the country. Our next report gives you more details.
A huge chunk of plants and animals in the United States are facing extinction. Leading conservation research group NatureServe found that 40% of animals and 34% of plants are at risk of dying out, while 41% of ecosystems are facing a total collapse.
When you have a habitat and species start going extinct or becoming smaller in number, eventually that can cause the collapse of that habitat type.
Everything from crayfish and cacti to iconic American species such as the Venus flytrap are in danger of disappearing. A new report by NatureServe analyzed data from its network of over 1,000 scientists across the US and Canada. NatureServe Vice President of Data, Regan Smith, says freshwater mussels are also among the species at risk of extinction.
These are not species most people get excited about, but they play really important roles within the ecosystems. They're what filters the water and keeps it clean. If you care about going fishing with your son or your daughter, you're going to care about having clean, dynamic rivers. The fish that live in those rivers depend on that ecosystem service that those mussels provide.
Importantly, the report pinpoints the most affected areas in the country. California, Texas, and the southeastern US are where the highest percentages of plants, animals, and ecosystems are at risk. The report found that the threats are varied, but include habitat degradation and land conversion, invasive species, damming and polluting of rivers, and climate change. NatureServe President Sean O'Brien.
You won't have things to hunt and fish if their ecosystems are degraded, or if the rivers are polluted, or if somebody clears the land that the elk depend on.
Calling the conclusions of the report terrifying, O'Brien hopes it will help lawmakers understand the urgency of passing protections and show state governments the gaps between protected lands and areas that need protecting.
You know, it's much easier to poach on lands that aren't being guarded than on lands that are. And so putting protected areas around species that are really at risk could potentially reduce poaching.
All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Never honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to all the brothers and a few sisters out there. Unto the Israelite foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. It's going to be a quick show through the spirit of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, a video that I seen as I was just, going through what I always go through. And that particular video speaks of how 40% of the natural animals in America and the plants are going extinct. And the only thing I could think of, like, this truly is the shadow of death. All right? Death is so common in the shores of America, even before the Lord destroys his place, that the animals are dying. And them dying is a merciful death compared to what they would receive if they had stayed here when those missiles dropped. And it so happens, it's a lot of stuff now I'm thinking about it. Well, you had last week, Houston, Texas, they want to chip all dogs, cats, all pets, and making it mandatory. And that's another reason why these animals is going to go extinct in the shores of America. They eating abomination. That's another reason why they're going extinct. All right, or they're going to be destroyed. Because a lot of things is going on is equaling to death. And that's all I could keep hitting my head, the shadow of death, which is truly America, right? Job, let me get this one instead. Job 10 and 20. It says, "Are my days few? Cease then, and let me alone, that I may take comfort a little." This is Job when he was going through his hell. "Before I go, whence I will not return, even to the land of darkness and the shadow of death." A land of darkness as darkness itself, and of the shadow of death without any order, and where the light is as darkness. And this version is a prophetic version, because this is America. All right, what the light itself is darkness. Who runs this society? Esau, Edom, the so-called white men, the elites. All right. So when they say, what they say is good is actually bad. Everything is dying. All right. Real quick. Proverbs. Gotta get that. Well, matter of fact, Proverbs 29:16. It says, when the wicked are multiplied, transgressive increaseth. So we live in a valley of the shadow of death, and wickedness is multiplied. All right. So transgression, the transgression or breaking the laws, statutes, and commandments is increasing. All right, is increasing rapidly. So what is the penalty of sin or transgression? Death. So this is we live in a society where death is being promoted. Death is highly looked upon. People speak death. They act with death. But then what I mean by that, everything they do against what the scripture says to live. All right. Esau automatically does not follow the land Sabbath. So what does that do entails? That entails that the animals and the plants that's in the natural habitat is either being used up, all right, and they hunt down the animals for sports. Okay, then you have your pets, and what do? They feed you. They have you buy a certain particular type of food for your pets, and that itself gives your pets cancer. Then he said, okay, nah, I'm gonna feed my pet. If you got a dog, cat, I'll feed them table scraps. Well, guess what? You eating poison, and that same poison you eating is poisoning your pet. So, not everything around us is being is becoming toxic. All right. Everything that's around us is being toxic. Everything around us is against the way the natural order of things. Okay? So it's not shocking that they make a statement that the majority of life itself in America is becoming extinct. Because who's running it? Proverbs, that same chapter, 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear fruit, the people mourn. And the people are in mourning. This is why people are doing certain things that even Esau don't have to do much. He have the people trained to torture animals, to do certain things. You know? You find, I remember back in the days in New York City, Brooklyn, New York. And back in the days, I mean, it wasn't great, but there was a whole bunch of stray dogs. That means dogs without owners, dogs that just roam the streets. They'll do they'll come in as a pack, and they'll do what they do, you know. But normally they don't bother nobody. Simultaneously, you had a lot of stray cats, right? Now the cats, I'm gonna use a city version of the wilderness, but cats will keep the rats in check. Now here in the city, New York City, is being infested not with mice but with rats, and these rats are not your typical rat. These rats are bold. As people sleeping, the rats are climbing on their leg. And this is in the city. All right? Wherever the train tracks are at, when they're doing construction, the rats are going to people's homes and so forth. So now, what's happening now, as they did to the stray dogs, they'll catch the dogs. They got the dog catchers, which has been going on a long time. And then either they put them to death, or they neuter or spade them. So when they neuter or spade them, what does that end up doing? They can't reproduce. All right, so you get rid of the dogs. So no more stray dogs. All right. Now the cats. There's some blocks. You just walk by, there's mad cats. And then one day, all those cats disappear. Because what? They neuter or spade them. So this man has threw off all the ecosystem, even in the city. All right. Proverbs 12:10. A righteous man regardeth the life of his beasts. So when I look this up, regardeth, right? It's a Hebrew word yad. So when you break it down, it says the righteous. I gotta read it again. A righteous man regardeth, all right, yad, to know, learn to know, to perceive, to see, find out, discern, discriminate, distinguish, to know by experience or recognition, admit, acknowledge, confess, to consider. All right. So a righteous man would consider, he would know, he would perceive how to treat his pet or beast in general. But this is the point. But the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. So the tender mercies, or what they deem to be mercy, is cruel. All right, it's real cruel. They don't have there's no chill button with these people. They just promote death. Okay, they just promote death. That's all they do. The solution of when Esau came to the Americas, when they had a lot of buffaloes, bisons and so forth. Buffalo, the same thing, but it's called different in different continents. But what was their solution to get rid of to starve out the natives? Is what? To kill off the buffaloes, to make a sport out of them. Beavers, they'll cut the beavers. They will kill the beavers to make hats. Gators, they'll kill gators to make belts and so forth. Now everything is in turmoil because of this man's cruelty. This is his tender mercies, man. Okay? If you have a pet, you take your pet to the vet, your pet might not come back alive. All right? They'll get it doped up, drugged up, just like they would do a person. And that whatever they gave that particular beast, it may end up later down the line to be a cancer of some sort. All right? This man is the author of death. Okay? He's an expert at this. Habakkuk 2 and I just want to get to the point. 4. Yeah. It says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. So that's speaking of Esau. But the just shall live by his faith. The faith in who? Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. Who enlarges his desire is hell, is as death. All right? Esau is as death. Everything that he touches dies. He's been on this continent for over what? Let's say from 1776, they said they established everything to this very point. So that's over, according to my math, I think 232 years or 33 years. I could be wrong. 36 years. It's going to be 236 years, right? This is what they say. Okay? Since that time, see how much death that came to the land. Everywhere he touched, in the shores of the land that he took captive, that he took away from the natives, damn near everything's going extinct. All right? Everything. He is as death. This man is a harbinger of death. Revelations 6. It's really 8. 7. It says, and when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast saying, come and see. And I looked, behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. And power was given unto them, over the fourth part of the earth, to kill with the sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. So death is coming at an all-time high. Death is as a spirit itself. But who channels? Who's the channel of that particular spirit? Esau. He's causing massive death, even like I say, back to the shores of America. Wolves endangered, bison, elks, danger, beavers, danger. Bald eagles, the symbol of America, in danger. All right, grizzly bears, danger. Okay, alligators, danger. Everything that was not man-made, but American homegrown is in danger. Why? Because this man is death. Malachi 1:4. It says, wherefore as Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will not return and build the house. But we will return and build a house. Slakia for that. And build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord have indignation forever. So wherever Esau go, it was a border of wickedness, right? So, matter of fact, before I get that, let me get this, the famous Psalm. Psalm 23:4, it says, yeah, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Let's see what that says. The Hebrew word is Tazalama what? It says death shadow, deep shadow, deep darkness, shadow of death. Death shadow, deep shadow, darkness. Death shadow of distress, extreme danger, figuratively. Death shadow of a place of the dead, figuratively. All right, so we walk in the valley of the shadow of death. Everything around us is death. The saying is, unclean spirits like to be around unclean things. This is why this place is unclean. It's unclean from the very beginning of it. The shed the blood of the saints, which are Gad, Reuben, Judah, all right, and now all 12 tribes. But when they first got this place, they shed mad blood, and those blood never really this place has never been clean. So unclean things have been around. This whole continent is the shadow of death. Okay, that's why the Lord said Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made the earth drunken. All right, because they all follow the same extension of the shadow of death. What good comes out of this place? Family. There's no such thing as family. Even your everything that you have is from the food, the air, the products in your homes. All right, is all death or death defying. You have places like the CDC in Atlanta, Georgia, all right, which is Central Disease Center. They're storing up all the goodies down there, and all that is equaling death. All right. Hey, farmlands. They're burning down majority of these farmlands now, but the farm animals are eating things that they shouldn't be eating, which equals to death. And the food that we eat, the food that the farm animals are eating is GMO foods, GMO grass and corn, things of that nature they shouldn't be eating, and they're dying. And who knows with the food that we eat if the animal dies of itself or not. They just throw things in and just grind everything together, and you don't even know what the hell you're eating majority of times. It's all death. All right? So we are in the shadow of death. America is the capital ruler of that right now. The earth itself is mourning, but this land, this continent, is screaming to be destroyed. All right? And it will be destroyed. Thus save the script. Thus save the Bible. Jeremiah 51:25. Behold, I'm against thee, O destroying mountain, saith the Lord, which destroyeth all the earth. I will stretch out my hand upon thee, and roll thee down from the rocks, and will make thee a burnt mountain, which is talking about the government. Mountains in the scriptures represent governments. So this top government in the world, all right, the dark light that it shines on the world, the Lord's going to destroy this place. Okay? Hey, the Lord's already showing what he's about to do to this place. Things are already dying. Animals are already dying, man. Okay? Animals are already dying. So what are they going to, listen, all they're going to do is keep hiding certain things. Keep it hidden when you don't see certain bees are dying. All right? Everything's dying because who's ruling the world? Esau. There was something else that came in mind. Salakia. Oh, yeah. We'll get these last two. Ezekiel 35. Ezekiel 35:14. Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahshua, when the whole earth rejoiceth, I will make thee desolate. So the only way the earth itself is going to rejoice is when this man's being taken out of power. Right? Isaiah 4 was two of them. Let me get the one Isaiah 14 first. Isaiah 14:5. No, sorry. 7. So the whole earth is at rest and is quiet. This is a future prophecy. They shall break forth in singing. So who's part of the earth? The animals. All right? The animals are crying right now. They dying. Okay? You got whales that's beaching themselves. You got animals that's committing suicide. All right? Because everything is connected. And we all feel the same vibration. It's showing that we in the last days. All right? It says, the whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. I should go up. Isaiah 14:5. It says, the Lord have broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. Right? He who smote the people in wrath with a continuing stroke. He that ruled the nations in anger and is persecuted, none hindereth. Because this is the future prophecy is going to take place. All right? He has smote the people. He's stressed out the people. He's been destroying the people. Majority of these people right now, they're about to die from taking that liquid love. All right? So, and then everything else is just added. So all these things are adding up. But verse 7, it says, the whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Yeah, the fir trees rejoiceth at thee. The cedars of Lebanon saying, since thou art laid down, no fella is come up against us. So that's a twofold scripture. One, it's talking about the other nations and the actual trees itself. All right. They're going to rejoice when Esau is being taken down, because he brings nothing but death. He said, hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirred up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth, which is talking about the other heathen nations. They're going to have their land. They're going to have everything. Okay. It have raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. But so again, that's the future prophecy. This is what I was thinking about too. Isaiah 13. Oh man, you know what? Oh, yeah, that just came to my head. Job 20. Is it 20? Yeah. Job 20 and I just want to get to the point. Job 20 is 27. It says that heaven shall reveal his iniquity, right? Which is his sins. The heavens, how is the heavens of revealing his iniquities? By the satellites. The internet is proving everything that Esau is doing is wicked. All right? You got rivers. Even if I'm not mistaken, even the Mississippi River is drying up a bit. But you have everything around the world is out of whack because this man's in power. And the world's seeing it. Because everybody knows this man has a heart program. Everybody knows he's polluting the air, all right, but with his chemtrails and so forth. And animals are mysteriously dying. Okay? And it says, the heavens shall reveal his iniquity, which is his sins, and the earth shall rise up against him. And who is part of that is the beast of the field. All right, they're gonna rise up against this man because he's killing them. This is gonna be a strategic strike. Everything that lives is gonna come back and kill this man, destroy him when that time to come. Job 5 and 20. That should go up. No. Well, that should. Alright, Job 5 and 12. He disappointed the device of the crafty. Which is talking about Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, and the Illuminati. Alright? So that the hand cannot perform the enterprise. Which is what? They're ultimately capping capping that stone and controlling the world by putting that C-hip on everyone and everything. All right. Yes, we always talk about the C-hip. That, of course, men, women, and children is going to be hit, but they're doing it also to the beast in the continents of America. All right, so everything is going to die. That's what I wanted to bring out. Everything is going to die. Isaiah 13, to the point. It says, the only thing that's going to survive or not survive, we don't know how the Lord's going to do it, but these are the only things that are going to be left in the shores of America. Matter of fact, I'll start at 19. In Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldeans' excellency, shall be as when Sodom and Gomorrah, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, and nothing in Sodom and Gomorrah survived. That's including beasts. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there. Neither shall their shepherds make their fold there. So no son of man shall dwell in these lands, right? After the smoke is clear. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and houses shall be full of the doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and the satyrs shall dance there. You see, did you ever look up that word satire? Oh, that's what it says. It says a he-goat, a buck, sacrificial animal. Satire may refer it to a demon-possessed goat, like the swine of Gilder. Well, that's still up for debate. Pastor Hard did that too. Cause goat, yeah, he was like he said in the video, goat is good eating. But you have all these, and it says verse 22, and the wild beasts of the isles shall cry in their desolate houses, and the dragons in their pleasant palaces. Her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. So America is going to be destroyed. America is already bringing massive death to the whole world, but things in America is already dying because of this damn devil that's in power. That's why we got to get the hell out of here. So with that being said, which we are, it's always about to come to an end. That's what the scripture says in second Ezra, the 4th chapter. How the earth hastened to be destroyed, hasten to pass away, Salakia. All right? Because what? We men, Israelites, we're in tune with the spirit of the earth. And we could clearly, when we're miserable, we know the earth is miserable. The animals are miserable. You know, if you go to the zoo, or even the circus, the animals are drugged up just to perform what they want them to perform. So this place is nothing but pure hell for everything that exists. And that's when the opportunity rises, everything's gonna stand up against this man. So with that being said, sound real quick to the spirit. Shalom to the elect of the nation Israel. Shalom.